I'm going to start with the zucchini first. So in this pan right here, I have got some onions wilting down in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. You want to get them soft because we're going to make a ragu to go with this zucchini. So after the onions are soft, you want to put in some fresh garlic. Mince up 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, how much you like. I love garlic, so we're going to put all of that in there. And I put the garlic in after I put the onions in, because if I put the two together, well, the garlic would just burn. So I always put the garlic in after the onions have cooked down some. Now let me tell you what else is going to go in this. We're going to make a ragu, not a classic ragu from northern Italy, but a fast ragu. A ragu is a meat sauce, and we're going to be using pork. So here we have some beautiful looking ground pork. This is going to cook in about 30 minutes or so. And this is a dish that you could actually make ahead of time. You can make the sauce, put it in the refrigerator, and then you have it for whenever you want it. So let me turn the heat up on this now, because now we're going to add all of the meat. And we're going to brown that. Want to brown the meat before we add the other ingredients. And the other ingredients are going to be tomatoes, a little bit of fresh basil, some oregano, salt, pepper, and wine, a good dry red wine. So let me give this some salt and some pepper. We're going to let that cook now until it's browned, and then I'll add the rest of the ingredients. I want to make sure that that heat is up high enough. Now for this dish, you want to make sure that the zucchini are cut thin, about 1/4 of an inch thick, I would say. And you can just do that with a knife, or you can do it on a mandolin. And this is a mandolin. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is an instrument that you should be very, very careful with. So you make an adjustment as to what you want, and you go over the mandolin and you cut the slices. And they will look like that. So they're all nice and uniform. So there is our zucchini, all ready to go. This is a basil called Basilico Napoletano. Look at how big those leaves are. And I love this basil. So I'm going to put some of this into our ragu. So some basil goes in. A lot of people like to put that in at the end, but I like to put it in now. And now we have tomatoes or pomodorini. And we're going to put those in. This is a nice thick ragu. Stir that in, and then I take a good dry red wine and clean out either the can or the measuring cup that I had the tomatoes in, and pour that right in. I love wine in ragus. So you want to stir that up well. We're going to give this some dried oregano. So here's some dried oregano. I love dried oregano in this. And we're going to let this go now. This is going to cook down for about 30 minutes. And then you have it for whatever dish you're planning to do. So we're going to lower the heat on that now, put the cover on, and let that go so that we can go on to making the Parmigiano. So for it now, let me show you how this goes. You have put the zucchini on a bake dish in a single layer. So this is where you don't have to fry anymore. You see how thin they are. You put them on a bake dish that has just a little bit of olive oil on it, and then you put them in a 350-degree oven just until a knife inserted tells you that that is soft. Now you're ready to make the casserole. And you start by putting down a layer of that ragu sauce. So I started this a little earlier for you. And you can see that's where we are. So now what you need to do is start with the next layer. So you put a layer of zucchini in the pan, and you're just going to continue building layers like this, you see? And then you want to take some of that ragu, spread a nice layer of the ragu over the top. So there is our ragu. And then you want to add some cheese. And here we have grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. And then you add more ragu, which we just did. And then you add a layer of fior di latte. This is cow's milk mozzarella cheese. There it is, all cut up. And you put a layer of that on. And I think now you begin to get the idea of building the casserole. And then you want to end with the ragu. End with the ragu, and then this is going to go into a 350-degree oven. You're going to cover it for about 20 minutes covered, and then you're going to uncover it and let it cook for about 10 minutes more. So there's the next layer. And you continue to build like this. So the next layer would be zucchini and so on. Got it? Oven's on at 350 degrees. And this bakes for about 20 or 25 minutes. You're going to have to gauge it in your oven, and then you want to take the top off and let it cook further.